Okay, you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start here from the past, like always. And it's looking like here you guys are planning for the future with some individual here. I feel like this is planning for the future or trying to recognize that there's a future to build with a person currently, because that's what the Three of Pentacles is all about, right? Hashing out the details, looking at what you can bring to the table, what can the other person bring to the table, to really work together to see what you guys need to be together to, to build a long-term relationship. Now, I do get the sense here that there was some, juggling. I don't know if this is potentially, juggling two people, or there's somebody that was juggling two people in the relationship, because the Three of Pentacles does talk about a group, right? It can talk about with like two people. This could also talk about this being that someone is juggling two options, two situations, two individuals potentially. I'm not getting other three cards, so I don't think this is a third party situation, to be absolutely honest with you. What I do get this feeling of is that there's particularly a third party situation in regards to money, finances, because this is somebody that's juggling what they need to, juggling the practical, right? Focusing on what's practically there rather than going with their heart and soul. This is a lot of practical situations, but it's initiated something new and very, something that's honestly in regards to potentially getting back with an ex, because the Ace of Wands can be the rekindling of flames. But if this is not rekindling with a flame, potentially an old flame here, this is talking about starting something that's toward a very passionate and very exciting start. Okay, this is very exciting, okay, and I feel like it can lead to somewhere that can really feel very rewarding potentially with the Ace of Wands here. But it's so exciting. I like this. I really like this energy. But I feel like with the Two of Pentacles, there is a lot of focusing on something else. There's a lot of looking in a direction where love may not be the focus. It's more of the practical aspects, because you're looking at the Three of Pentacles in the past. Now, moving on from this, right, from starting something new and everything like that, and having to internally make a decision about something practical, you have the Hermit here in the present. So I feel like right now there is a situation currently where there may be some, soul searching and really looking within to figure out what it is that you want, whatever it is that you need. You have the light there with you, right, to shine in any dark corners that may need some addressing of some sort. So there could be that you guys are looking within to figure out what it is that you want, or maybe there's something internally that you guys are having to look into, right? Because internally you guys have the Queen of Cups, so you have an idea potentially, because the Queen of Cups, you should see her cup here. I'm going to show you it up close. You see her cup, it has a lid on it, right? She knows what is in her cup already. She knows what she wants. She knows how she feels. She knows who she wants to give it to, but she ain't going to get up and give it to anybody, right? She's ready to receive that love. So I get this feeling that internally you guys may have somebody that you already love, somebody that you already know was fit perfectly with you and really meld together. And I feel like this person, you honestly are, you're one in love with, and they potentially love you back, right? Queen of Cups is very loving, very supportive, and I really get this feeling that this person really hits those right notes in regards to being the ideal partner. And the reason why I say that is because the King of Pentacles shows up. Now these two, even though they're not of the same suit, I like them two together because she's very vulnerable, she's very open, she does require a little bit more stability and protection, and the King of Pentacles can provide that. And I feel like that with this person coming up as the King of Pentacles, there could be a business person, they're working on their own business, or they're managing their business, or they could be working very hard and day in and day out to maintain some sort of stability. They could also be family oriented. They could have a family of their own, because this is a family, the King of Pentacles is known as the family man. But for those of you that this may not be a man or something like that, this is not sex oriented. Neither is the Queen of Cups. It could be anybody. But I get this feeling this person works very hard, and they're very practical, or they're very focused on finances. And this could be you, or this could be the other person, right? Considering in the past year, internally there was the Two of Pentacles, so there was a lot of juggling, a lot of figuring out practical, making practical decisions about this new beginning that was starting here, that potentially can get you guys together. So there is this time of isolation, this hermit energy, where there is like soul searching, seeing, discovering the answers that you are looking for within yourself, or just trying to answer some questions that you may have within yourself, because that's what the Hermit does. He looks within. And for some of you guys could really be seeing a Virgo right now, or a Virgo, Libra, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus. But these are just energies, so any of them can really apply. Since especially if this is a general reading for everybody. Well, this is a love reading, but this is for everybody. I can't get too specific about who you potentially are seeing, but this is somebody that is very intuitive potentially, and that could potentially be their work, but they are very supportive. They're very in love. You may feel very vulnerable with this individual, but they provide you some sort of stability here. The King of Pentacles is showing up and saying, hey, I got you. Don't you worry. But the thing is, the King of Pentacles may just show love in a very different way. They may be very practical in how they show love. They may, they may be focusing on finances to, protect the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Cups may not understand what the King of Pentacles is doing, because she's very emotional. She's all about how she feels. She's all about connecting emotionally. And he's all about, well, I love you and I want to protect you. I want to provide you with a fortress to make sure that you're safe and that you're doing well and you have everything that you've ever wanted. And she's like, yeah, but I want you. So there's a situation here that could potentially happen with the King and Queen, or the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So there could be that there, right? And that's the hardship, right? The part where you may want, this could be you guys, right? You may want to be vulnerable and open with your partner and really want to connect with them on an emotional level. But then at the same time, you do need that structure. You need that commitment. You do want that solid, sense of stability, but you also want them to understand that their partner, even that money isn't everything. Okay, money isn't everything, or financial stuff isn't everything, and potentially you want to connect with them in an emotional way. Okay, because I'm seeing you guys as more the Queen of Cups, especially considering this is the internal energy, and we're talking about the Hermit, which can really specifically talk about one individual, which is you, the watcher, right, the viewer. And I feel like you guys want to connect with an emotional, connect in an emotional level. You have so much love for this individual. So it's so apparent. You love this person. You're so dedicated. Even this could even be you, right? You're so committed to them. But I feel like with the outside, though, considering that this is a king, and I wouldn't typically read you guys as kings, this person may be very focused on finances, and you just need them to be there for you and just to be in love with you, maybe. I can't read for everybody, but that's what I'm just kind of getting, right? You love them, you know that they're committed to you, you can see it, but at the same time, because you're Sagittarians, you're so understanding, you're so well, like, you guys are open-minded, and you guys have this beautiful chemistry with learning and teaching. It's beautiful. So I feel like you guys do come from a place of understanding with the Hermit. You understand why they do it, but it doesn't negate how you feel, though. So moving on, right, from the situation, I feel like there is this period of figuring out what you want, or honestly isolation potentially, because you may feel very vulnerable, and you have somebody here that's committed to you, but they're focusing a lot on their finances, or vice versa, right? This could be that someone is in love with you, and they love you very much, but you're trying to build a future. You're trying to focus on what you need to be more stable and caring for them, but you may also feel isolated in that sense as well. But you have the Page of Pentacles coming up in your future, which is this is an offer of love. This is an offer of long-term commitment, a longevity here. This is something that can last and stand the test of time. It's a small beginning, it's nothing huge, but it can go such a long way, and it can manifest to something amazing. And I get this feeling that is what, there's an offer of long-term commitment. Now, I feel like it's because this is a long time coming. This is a lot of internal search. There's a lot of internal work that's being done. You may feel like, yes, you finally got to a place where you can be you're more stable, you're more solid, you're in a place where it's grounded. But then it's also taking a leap of faith with this Page of Pentacles, rather, because you have to accept it, right? Or you're giving it to someone, and it's almost kind of scary, because I feel like with the Four of Pentacles, he's holding on to dear life. He's holding on to these Four Pentacles that he knows that are familiar, and he's worked very hard for. And he's kind of solid right now, right? But there's more that he deserves, and he doesn't want to leave what he's invested his time and effort into behind to be able to get more. And I feel like that could be like this something. He's holding back. He's holding back because he feels vulnerable. He's holding back because he doesn't feel like he doesn't want to lose everything he just gained, instead of believing that he can gain more. And it's very interesting. It's coming up with Justice. This is balancing of karmic scales. There's also, I don't know if this is an apology. I don't see anything that's going on. Maybe there was a period of isolation, but this is karmic scales rebalancing itself. This is also, you know, justice is also the card for Libra. So let's go ahead and look into justice. Why is justice coming up for Sagittarius and their external energy? Why is justice coming up? Wow, the Knight of Wands. That's interesting because Scorpio got this same card in the same position. Not for justice, but for the Nine of Swords. So there could be that there's an offer of something that's long-term, that's something that's of value, but somebody feels super vulnerable and kind of like a bit hesitant. But then with justice could be talking about, you know, balancing, traveling as well, though, with the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands. It could be somebody that's coming in to apologize, or someone that's coming in to right some wrongs or to regain balance. There could be some karmic connection with the Knight of Wands as well. Give me another card for justice. Why is the Knight of Wands? Why is Knight of Wands clarifying justice? How is that supposed to help clarify what's going on with that energy? Okay. That's too many cards. That Four of Swords. It could be a break taken. There was potentially some time of decision making. Maybe you felt like this person, you love this person, but you needed some time to become more solid. Or maybe this person you were in love with them and you were waiting for them to become more solid. It's interesting. I feel like it's something with this situation here that's causing the Justice card to come up. Like an offer of something that's of value, something that's really serious, but it's kind of scary because, you know, this is stepping outside of your comfort zone, where you may be feeling like you finally got a place where you are more stable, but you also want to settle the score, almost not settle the score like get even, but you want to like provide some sort of closure, potentially for you know, maybe for this person that was not very reliable in the past, someone that wasn't showing that they were committed to you, or someone that wasn't stable enough. Like maybe this person, like I said, maybe the person externally is focusing on finances to become more stable, but they've already come up as the King of Pentacles. Maybe you felt for this person, you were very stable, but they weren't very stable in themselves. Maybe they were vulnerable. With the Knight of Wands and the Four of Swords, that's honestly like somebody potentially taking a break because to explore, to gain more experience. But maybe they're using the experience now to the best of their ability with justice. Potentially to make the relationship work again. If this is somebody that's taken some time away. This is the isolation card, right? Like I was saying, this is someone that's by themselves. It's potentially you by yourself. So maybe there was a break here. Maybe someone took a break. See what the romance angels has to say. What's going on with Sagittarius? What's going on with Sagittarius? What's going on with Sagittarius' love life? It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Whoa. Wow, Sagittarius. So maybe that somebody in the past may have shown that they were not very stable in the past, or they were a bit unreliable. And that break allowed you to kind of figure out what it is that you truly wanted. And maybe they come back to apologize for not, for being flighty, for not being 100% committed or something. Maybe that break was a time for them to reflect on themselves. But the Justice card is coming up for a reason, right? Maybe maybe this is something big. I don't know if this is necessarily apologies. Maybe it's just it's weighing the pros and cons of just going your own separate way. Maybe you're comfortable where you are in this relationship, but maybe the relationship isn't what you wanted. Maybe you find yourself alone all the time, and this King of Pentacles is so focused on work that you feel alone, and now you're trying to figure out weigh the pros and cons, whether just kind of go on your own and start a new beginning by yourself. But there's somebody offering something long term. I don't know. It's something that you're holding back on, Sag. Something that you're holding back on here. Something having to do with karmic scales rebalancing themselves, or karma. But it's safe for you to love. This person is committed. I feel that this person's committed. I don't know if this person was flighty potentially. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you're feeling more in your energy. This is your opportunity to be more free. Maybe perhaps you felt vulnerable, so you didn't feel comfortable being the Sagittarius that you are, right? To explore, to go out on their own. Maybe there was a bit of restriction at this time because of some stuff that was going down. There's some difficult situation here. Maybe I don't think it was difficult though. Everything looks great here. Everything looks great here, even if you did take some time out. But this is the thing that's throwing the loop, kind of like a curveball. It's like maybe this could be marriage even. Because the Page of Pentacles and Justice. Justice is just divorce or apologies. It's also marriage. So for some of you guys, you may feel so committed with this individual that you do commit to them. You do sign a contract together to travel somewhere, right? Somewhere that's finally stable where you can truly relax and be together. That could be that too, right? But there's something here, right? This is another step outside of your comfort zone. And that's not really a bad thing, because I feel like this is something that's pushing you in the direction where you want to go, the Knight of Wands. Maybe you guys sign a contract together. Maybe it's not marriage per se, but maybe you guys are moving together. Now, I would like to see the Four of Wands and something like that, but maybe there's still something in regards to traveling and being together in regards to a contract of some sort.